We completely skipped the focus round, which is fun. You do volleyball, pickleball, networking for fun. The O's opportunity that was a game changer for you. The Columbia retreat, which we just talked about. Communication, your most important communication tip, Wayne. Ask open-ended questions.
Yes.
So give the person a chance to respond. Don't give them the opportunity just to say yes or no. Ask them a question that's going to make them have to respond with some sort of insight, which allows the dialogue to continue. I'm just powering through here, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Success. What do you attribute your success to? You respond to being prepared and getting lucky and never giving up. We talked about how you are tenacious. I think that falls right in here, right aligned with theirs. But you did talk about preparation. So it's not just going knocking on doors. It's knowing what you're going to say when you knock on that door.
Yeah. And when the opportunity presents itself, be ready to take on it. Just like the first deal, right? In
Copy.
Indiana. We
Yeah.
were ready.
Yep. Biggest loss you've ever had to overcome. Losing your first deal. We talked about that in Indiana. What you learned. Be prepared when the opportunity strikes, which you literally just mentioned. What it felt like. You said you were bummed that you missed out on the opportunity, and what it feels like now in hindsight. Do you want to expound upon that?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I should follow up and really
Feel that pain,
feel
dude.
that pain.
They made 500 grand in a couple of years, bro. Just letting it sit. Okay, so everything happens for a reason. There are no failures in life. There are only lessons. You're taking it all in stride. Hey, look, that was a part of my journey. It was a part of my life experience, part of my business experience. I'm getting better from this.
Yes.
Awesome. Now let's talk about some skip the line hacks, because we are up on time. As you know, this podcast is called Skip the Lines. As you know, I don't come from much, right? I think poverty is a strong word because I was in the United States of America. I think there are some people around the world that would beg to differ. If you're born in America,
Sure.
I think there obviously are levels to it. I'm not taking away anyone's journey or, how they feel. But for me, in hindsight, looking back, what I know now at 42, I do feel blessed to have been born in this country with, all the challenges that I had. There's still a reason why people are signing up to come here.
Yeah.
And I even saw an article the other day on CNN about how the United States GDP is just running laps around Europe. In 2000 and I want to say 8, maybe, we were neck and neck in GDP. And since then, we're almost double the size of Europe's GDP. And a lot of big European companies are coming here. Europe too, dude. We're not talking about India or China or, some of the ones we've always known about. It's like the Europeans, the Germans and all those guys are coming here. And the UK thought when they left Brexit, I'm getting off on a tangent here, I don't even know where I'm going here, but when the UK did the Brexit thing, they thought they were going to be, the next state. How many states do we have? 50?
Yeah.
The 51st state, but then we have the territories too. We have Puerto Rico and Guam. So I was going to say 53rd, but I was like, no, there's 50 states. Okay, so they thought they were going to be the 51st state, and interestingly enough, in this article, Wayne, the GDP of the UK would be like the very, very low, I want to say 20% of the states in the United States.
Wow.
I think, don't hold me to this, but I think it's probably lower than Mississippi and Alabama, dude. That's how much we are running laps. So, again, I digress, but I'm very thankful I was challenged, but the purpose of the podcast is to get back. Hopefully when someone watches this episode, they're going to be inspired by your journey. Hey, look, yeah, some may call it bad, some may call it good. This is my life. It was laid out for me to become a scientist. I checked that box, and I was unfulfilled. I did it. I'm thankful for, there's a lot of people in the world that maybe didn't have that opportunity, didn't have that structure, didn't have, all the wherewithal to do it, but I did it. But then I felt like this, and this is how I'm getting here. There may be some people out there, which I'm sure there probably is, Wayne, that feel that way. And so you are setting an example, and thank you for sharing your story. For me, it's my story of, hey, look, I didn't grow up with much. I grew up in, the youngest of 4 with a single mother. There was welfare. There was Section 8. There was, days when I was hungry. But on the flip side, I grew up in a place where I went to church all the time and learned really, really strong fundamental core values. I had really strong, deep relationships with people that I saw multiple times a week my whole life. I learned to value this country, to work hard. There's some things that were instilled in me. And again, everyone has their journey and everyone has the shoes that they've been walking in. So the purpose of the pod, to bring it all home, is to share with other people so they can potentially skip the line. So we're going to do some skip the line hacks. That's the segment.
Sure. Well, before you get there, I just want to say, it's like Warren Buffett says, right? You win the lottery simply by being where you're born.
100%. Like, we talked about this the other night. I think maybe even last week.
Yeah.
The chances of you being born, which I'm sure everyone's seen this, but it's still cool to talk about. It's like in the trillions.
Yeah.
Multiple trillions, right? It's like you're alive, dude.
Yep.
Like, get to work. And no one really cares that much. People look at that when I say that and think it's negative, like no one cares about me. But bro, you gotta accept the truth too. No one really cares about you that much. But how much do you actually care about someone else? Be real. Somebody has a bad day, are you really that concerned? You're not really that concerned. Now, we want to be good people. You want to try to, hey, give someone a pick-me-up. You want to give $1 to that guy or do the thing that's being a good part of society. But deep down where we really live, dude, we're survivalists and we're trying to get better. We're all walking through it. At the end of the day, be thankful that you're alive and get after it. The more you get after it, the more opportunity you're going to have to be a good person and give back, which we already talked about. Ooh, that's full circle right there.
Yes.
That deserves a fist bump. Okay.
You can also give back in the form of positive energy.
100%.
Right. That's what I've been trying to focus on and working on.
Being present, dude. Yeah.
And that
Giving
adds up.
of your energy to other people. I saw something on Instagram today when I was just on my feed. It said one attribute of people who are successful and make money in this world is energy. And I looked at that through a grain of salt. You know, people consider me, I'm always hear that I'm a high energy guy. I try to give energy and be where I'm at, but I'm not always, right? I do get tired and I do want to be away from people. But they said the opposite of the laziness, the opposite of the way money flows is with energy. So it's going to naturally hit you more the more energy you put out. I like that. Okay, let's get to it. Skip the line hack number 1 with Wei Sheng.
Well, I would say what I've learned recently is the mindset is just building off that topic as well, and also a skip line hack is work on your mindset, work on the mentality.
And what do you mean by that? And then how would one accomplish that?
I think just how you live your life. And that's why I've been following like Mickey Singer's book so much, because I think him and like Tony Robbins and all these people, there's a guy called Eckhart Tolle. I haven't followed him too much, but they're all in this field where they're trying to teach people how to live better lives, fulfilled lives with happiness. Because to your point, like all these things of how you're perceived, how all these fears and doubts, it's all in our head, it's all up here.
100%.
And I was just reading Mickey's first book, Michael Singer's first book, Untethered Soul, where he talks about this analogy where we are actually observers of life and of the experience. But in our heads, we build up this fortress of preferences, doubts, fears, of things like, I like this, I don't like this, I prefer to be this, I don't prefer all these things. So then it blocks the light and it creates this darkness that
You become a judge.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you're able to open up and spread positivity and spread that energy, you naturally end up attracting this law of attraction, right? You attract these people into your lives. And some people, they are blocked off, they don't open themselves up to these experiences. They forever go down that route, and hopefully down the road they discover it, but they go down this route of, you know, what most people think is, I need to go to a job, I need to make money, I need to do it for my family, and then I need to retire and then I die, right? But, not that you need to die, but like, we're born on this earth, the odds of being here, and then on a spinning rock in space, right, in the middle of nowhere,
It's a
the
trip
universe
when you
is
think about it,
expanded,
dude.
right? For you to like,
We're moving right now.
think
We're
about,
moving like really fast.
yeah, super fast. For you to care about like, oh, what will this person think about what I'm wearing, or dang, I shouldn't have said the thing I said, like, nobody cares.
Exactly.
Everybody's thinking about themselves, and if you can just spread positivity, spread the energy, it doesn't matter if you're doing entrepreneurship or if you're in a W-2, whatever you choose to do, like to your point, just give it the best version of yourself, and it'll take you very, very far.
Hey guys, that's amazing. And just to be clear, neither Wang or myself is saying be reckless, right? We're not saying don't take other people's feelings or opinions into consideration. It's essentially calculated risk. It's like, I want to put this thing out because I think it's going to be helpful. I want to put out positive energy, or I want to put out this negative thing that happened to me that in hopes that someone else doesn't have to go through it, right? Do that thing. And then if no one responds or no one likes and it doesn't go viral, continue to do it. I mean, anyone who posts anything understands you got to keep posting You got to keep. But the other thing too is you have to have something to say, right? So read some books.
Yes.
Go to some meetings. Talk to some people who are smarter than you. Because no matter how smart you are, there's someone that's smarter than you. So, be growing and then share that growth. And that's how you sort of pay it forward. I had Andy Rosenberg, who you know, on, and he talked about mentorship, which is, really experienced people that get a thrill out of giving back.
Yes.
But it's on us, because I consider myself, at a certain rung. It's on us to be growing from people or learning from people that have walked through some bigger, maybe wires or deal size or sold a business for $100, $200, $300 million, right? But when they share information, it's on us to pay it forward as well. Exactly. And so back to my original point, which is, hey, look, guys, put the information out there, share with other people. I posted the other day on LinkedIn, Wayne, I don't know if you saw, which is, no one cares about your secrets. You just think they do. No one cares about your secrets, dude. And you could lay out we could lay out our entire business plan for our companies, and with how we did it, guess what? People are gonna be like, they're not telling the truth, or look at all the fault, look at all the problem. Like, people are gonna no one cares, dude. So do it for you because it's the right thing to do. We can circle that back. We can tie that into just giving. Because if you're bringing positive energy, you are giving, you're doing it for the right reasons. In the end, that's the right thing to do. The blessings will come, and in itself, that's a blessing. Helps you sleep at night, do the right thing.
Just give the best version of yourself. Like in that book, in the Surrender Experiment, right?
Yeah.
Michael Singer, he started out as being he wanted to meditate and be a hippie in the jungle. And I'm spoiling this a little bit for you. But he ended up building a $5 billion EMR company.
I relate to that.
Yeah.
I've had thoughts about going to the Brazilian jungle and just planting strawberries, doing a log cabin thing. Yeah, dude. You don't want to get in this head too much, Wayne. I'm telling you right now, bro. It runs deep. All right. Skip the line hack number 2.
Number 2, man. I don't know.
Maybe something the old Wang, the 14, 15, 16-year-old Wang, the 21-year-old Wang, what would have progressed your career that you wish you had an older Wang tell the younger Wang?
I think you just gotta follow life. I think there is no right path or wrong path. I think my life worked out exactly how it should have. I don't regret. Even though earlier, my mom, when she hears this, she'll be like, it sounds like you regret doing your PhD, but I don't. I think it taught me a lot of things. It taught me perseverance.
It had pros and cons.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, hey mom, I'm an investor now. I see everything through the lens of pros, cons. It doesn't necessarily mean this thing is way better or you should do it, because even if a deal leans more on the pros, it's still okay sometimes to let that deal go and get another one. Because there's going to be another deal. So there's a Chinese proverb, or you know what I'm talking about? Where, hey, look, this thing happened and this thing happened. I don't remember exactly how it goes. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like be water, basically.
Yeah, it's basically like that Bruce Lee thought, but it's like, this thing happened, this thing happened. He's like, congratulations. He's like, don't say congratulations. I'll post it in the description.
There's no truly good or bad events. It's only how you perceive it.
That's the point.
Never look back with regret, because you can't change the past, right? That's what I would tell myself. Keep doing what you're doing and live in the present. The future will work itself out.
Thank you so much for sharing. How about a couple books, Wang, because you're a book guy?
Only recently.
A couple books that you would recommend. We talked about, what's it called?
The Surrender.
The Surrender Experiment. He also wrote the
Untethered Soul.
The Untethered Soul. A couple more that you recommend.
Yeah, I'm about to pick up his third one in the series. It's called Living Untethered. As you can tell, I've become a big fan of Michael Singer. But I think just generally, growing up, I was never really a big reader. Being a scientist.
Becoming a scientist and an engineer.
Well, being a scientist engineer, you're doing math problems, you're doing calculus, you're solving differential equations, right? I didn't really see the holistic part of the education, right? The history and the art side of things. But as I've gotten older, I've realized the importance of reading books and getting educated and having, because essentially when you read a book, right, just like we're having a dialogue now, you're having a private dialogue with the author of the book.
100%.
They're speaking to you.
And it's something, depending on the quality of the author, that they've really put themselves into. It's their life experience. They've sat down. They've formulated time. We know how valuable time is to do that thing. And then if they're not trying to sell you anything, they're just sharing with you Yes,
It's
it is
that much better.
so valuable.
So I would say, unfortunately, I don't have too many books I can recommend just because I haven't been an avid reader. But I think that is something that I plan to change. Just to be, I do read articles and I do read a lot, but I don't necessarily read books specifically.
Got it.
One of the things I'm planning to read is I'm planning to read the Bible. I've actually never read the Bible before, and I hear there's a lot of insights. You know,
The Bible,
on reading the Bible.
is the book I recommend the most. This is coming from Jonathan Mitchell. These words are mine. It has taught me so much. There are so many things in this planet that are an offspring of that book. Yeah, and it's, look, men get in the way of things, and I don't want to get into a spiritual discussion here.
You're gonna go off on it.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but the Bible is an awesome book. And awesome. And it's, you know, it's a part of history as well, just from simply, if you don't even believe in God. It's an amazing book.